Hello, I'm Damon Hatfield, and this is IGN's E3 live show, streaming at you from youtube.com/E3, e3.ign.com, IGN's Xbox Live app, and probably your neighbor's apartment. We've already seen some wondrous games, and if you've missed any of the segments, they'll be available on demand soon. Up next, what happens when you take one of my personal favorite movie franchises and mix it with LEGO awesomeness? Well, you get LEGO Lord of the Rings.
What's up, everyone? I'm Anthony Gallegos at IGN. I'm here with Nick Ricks, executive producer at Traveler's Tales Games, and we're here to show you LEGO Lord of the Rings. So, I guess let's jump right into it.
Okay.
So, what kind of differentiates LEGO Lord of the Rings from the other slew of LEGO games that you guys have done in the past?
Yeah, sure. Well, what we're always trying to do is to understand what's the difference between, let's say, Lord of the Rings and, say, other properties like a Batman. What makes that film experience different? And once we've understood that, once we've distilled that down, we can build our game around that. So in Lord of the Rings, for example, we really think the films are all about a journey. It's just a physical journey for the Fellowship to carry the One Ring from Hobbiton through to Mordor. But also there's a journey of the characters. They change, they grow. The Hobbits start off very timid, very scared, and then end up Lords of the Realm, or the Ranger Aragorn eventually becomes king. So these changes could be characterised as a journey. So how do we make a game of that? So in that, first what we try to do is establish, really try to understand where you're. No, sorry. Can we? Is this coming out live?
It's live. Yeah.
Okay. We are. The first thing we do, once we've established what we're going to do, we then distill that down into the gameplay, and then so the journey that we're creating can be formed by characters evolving slowly over time.
Okay.
And then so here we go in Moria, starting off with Gimli finding his lost one's fight.
So I guess we're seeing this is like a moment out of the first of the trilogy. How do you guys decide which moments of the film to kind of showcase in the game?
Yeah, that's a good question. So we always pick on the most important beat points throughout the film. So here we have the characters being confronted by hordes of orcs, and we know that's going to be really exciting. That's going to be an important part to tell in the game. So as we start playing through the game, I can start to make examples of how the features I was talking about. So as the characters were developing, we were talking about, so that their abilities and powers in the game start to change. So for example, we start off here with Legolas, who begins up with his bow. But if I press and hold the B button, I can open up my backpack. Now, as players progress through the game, so Legolas finds other bows. He's given the bow of the Galadriel by Galadriel, so that can fire more rapidly, can do more damage, and so hence the characters can kind of progress. And here we go. So we can go and find Sam. Now, Sam has his tinderbox, and he can start fires and break down these brown Lego objects to find the things that are revealed behind them. And this particular case is a key, and I know there's a key over here which we're going to need.
So I guess are the playable characters that we'll have, we'll see a lot of obviously the kind of the group that is surrounding the ring and stuff, but will we see other playable characters? The other Lego games like Star Wars and stuff always pulled in a lot of like secondary and tertiary characters.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, naturally. I mean, the game does focus on the Fellowship itself. I mean, it's the first time ever in a Lego game we've got 9 playable characters on screen at any one time. But yeah, there are dozens of other characters. In fact, there's over 80 characters in the game that you'll be able to pick up, play, and find. What we're going to try and do is also incorporate characters from the broader fiction, not just those that are included in the films. So here we've got some more kind of character abilities here. So everyone remembers the ability to toss the dwarf from the films, and so you can do that in the game. Let me just pick them up and try that again. So I can target these Lego rocks. I can hurl the dwarf at those. And Gimli, being robust and a very strong character, he's able to take that. He can take that easily, and he can move on.
Obviously, Gandalf's a wizard too, so I assume he has some sort of magical spell.
Absolutely. Yeah, not just wizard. He's obviously a Maya. He's got he's got a range of powers, and also as well, he's got his sword Glamdring, which glows when orcs are near and does extra damage to orcs and things like that. So that's all really cool. So that's how the characters develop. But I remember I was talking about how the story develops, how it's a journey, both not just the character, but also a physical journey as well. So what we're going to do is we're taking the classic Tolkien map, and we've built the whole thing and we're going to import it into the game. So you'll physically travel from Hobbiton all the way down. And what we wanted to try and do is ensure that the levels they're not just selected. You don't just stumble across them. So as you progress through the game, so you'll encounter all these different story events. And it's not just those, you'll find side quests, extra characters to find, extra characters to unlock, so that the whole idea of a journey, both for the characters and for the physical journey through the environment, is realised as well.
So I guess these games too, like right now we're obviously taking place in the first trilogy again, but we'll play through the whole of the trilogy from start to finish.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll go from them starting out here in Moria, and then eventually we'll end up with them throwing the ring into the lava. Spoilers. Absolutely. Both all the Fellowship of the Ring, the Two Towers, and Return of the King are all covered in the game. So yeah, you can literally play through the whole of that epic story, reimagined in Lego style. So something else which we've been really keen to do is this is the first time we've ever created a Lego game that's based on an Academy Award-winning film. Yeah.
And so we really started thinking, okay, well, what do we do? How do we kind of tackle that? So there's a lot of we took a lot of the cinematics and just really based our own camera's own work on the extremely successful effects that are used in the films themselves. So that helped us create this really kind of cinematic feel. But then as we were doing that, as we had these shots, I mean, you'll see the classic shot of the Fellowship running across the bridge of Khazad-dûm and things like that. We were starting to realise, well, it doesn't seem quite right that the characters are just kind of mumbling as they do before in the other Lego games. Why don't we try actually putting the film dialogue in the game itself? And we did it, and with a certain sense of trepidation, because the characters are always very humorous, always very funny the way they mumble. Right. But when we did it, it worked brilliantly. So as soon as we saw like a Lego Gimli going roaring fires and malt beer and all that kind of stuff, we just thought it's hysterical, it's hilarious. So we did it, and it helps us convey the story, particularly for a younger audience, because it's quite a complicated story, but they can pick it up really well. But at the same time, we're not diminishing the kind of irreverence and humour that you normally get from the Lego games.
Yeah, I was going to say, most of the time they kind of avoid the dialogue just because it's always that mumbling sort of, you get the gist of the story, but it's obviously trying to be very lighthearted and joking. Yeah,
that's right. And it's been remarkably successful in the past, though, no doubt about it. But because we're introducing this new kind of cinematic feel to the game, the camera, how it works, we find that the dialogue sits much better, and it not only helps it keep it fresh, but also helps younger gamers understand what they're playing.
And that's the thing about Lego games too, is that you guys are obviously targeting. I think people often mistake, I guess, that you're trying to target a younger audience. It's not just the younger audience. You're trying to make games that are both fun for children and adults.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's a game for the whole family, so that the parents and siblings can all sit and play together. So here, for example, as we're fighting off these orcs, I can start showing off some of the other character powers. If I can find, Gimli's obviously he picks up Glowin's axe here as well, which is really cool. And then if I switch over to Aragorn.
Well, is there any last kind of comments you wanted to get out there? Any last bit of messaging about Lord of the Rings that you think is really important for people to know?
Well, I think obviously we're releasing on all platforms, 360, PS3, PC and handheld platforms as well, DS, 3DS and PS Vita. So the game, to kind of sum up, has got it's the retelling of the journey. It's got an immense, huge realisation of Middle-earth that the players can play through and unlock all the story events and all the different character encounters. The characters themselves, they change and evolve over time. It almost gives it that kind of RPG-like kind of feel. There's no stats in it, it's not Diablo, but it's still there, it's still accessible for young gamers, and it tells the whole of the story from start to finish for the first time ever in a Lego game.
Cool. Well, thank you so much for bringing by. It was really great to meet you. Thank you everyone for joining us. Let's kick it right back over to Damon.
Awesome! Thanks a lot, guys. Next we want to watch the extended Blu-rays again, all 200 hours of them. Up next, Death is stopping at our door, and he looks like he means business. Darksiders 2 is coming, so don't you dare go anywhere.